This is Galarian.
Don't catch you slipping now. Don't catch you slipping now. Look what I'm whipping now.
Sounds so bad.
Guys, that'd be so unfair if we skip straight to it. We're gonna
That's
do
so
it.
dank. My character got so dank. Now I have a DC-18.
Do you really? AC-18?
AC-18, yes, sorry, AC-18.
Okay, so real quick, I gotta admit, right at the very end, like the last minute, I kind of enjoyed it. I don't know if that's like...
You have to get a handle on it.
Is that kind of like Stockholm Syndrome?
No, like, remember when you were like, oh, you can use 3 actions from the cleric to do a bigger thing, and you were kind of like, oh, I kind of see, like... So, I kind of see why some people like it.
So the cleric has a heal. And if you use one of your actions on your heal spell, you can heal, I think... A touch. 2 actions is range.
You can modify
3 actions is AoE heal.
Huh.
And everyone gets to roll. You can choose either roll 1 for everybody or everyone roll their own.
Oh, geez, why would you not do it?
Wait. Now that is really good.
Most of the time you'd want to do that.
Well, most of the time, but you may have...
There may be a circumstance where you
have other stuff to do.
Okay, so that is cool and fun, but it just seems strange that we're all in the position that we're questioning that there is even a flicker of fun among this game that we're playing.
It's because, I mean, this is basically a war game in a narrative context.
And we've moved away from that a lot.
A super small skirmish narrative war game that's extremely complex. It's a war band war game, not even a skirmish.
What's difficult for me is the most grueling and boring part of this game. We've kind of almost gone over the hill on that, and now we're done. It's like, man, I almost feel like maybe we could enjoy it because we kind of have a little bit of a handle on it, and we're all going. It's
so now we should make 4th level characters.
Now here's the thing, though.
But there's nothing to do. You just kill and walk and kill and walk.
You all die. You either kill yourself or get killed.
Well, that's the thing. It doesn't have to be that way.
If you go by just this thing that they've given.
If you use their stuff, then it's more likely to be that way.
Like, by the book.
But if you homebrewed it, it would be much better.
Yeah, then the rules are just...
And if you ignore like a lot of what they say around like exploration mode and all that junk, if you just like house rule it, keep like the core of the combat system.
Yeah, at that point it's like it's not so far from 5e at that point.
Exactly. You can run it like it's 5e, just hack it.
But to be completely honest, if we got back together and we're like, all right, let's just push through a little bit further into this, I would actually just rather just jump into Alabama and play 5e.
That's the thing. You could hack a lot of these things that it does into 5e.
Which I think would be good.
On the fly. Like the action economy?
The action economy, yes.
Bonus actions are just 1 action.
Yes.
It was silky smooth.
That was pretty... It's nice not to think the kinds of actions you have to do.
Yes.
It's just an action.
Do some actions.
And it's actually good for improvisation. How long does it take me to do this? It's an action.
Doesn't matter. It's an action.
Yeah. Some spells only... And I like to cast a spell, it's 1 action per component. So verbal is 1 action, somatic is 1 action, some spells only... Yeah,
only thing is, I believe in 5e, some of them have more than 3 components.
So you have to
there's not such a thing.
Is there not? I thought there was more than 1.
Verbal somatic material.
I think some of them take more than 1 material.
That doesn't matter. It's just the material component, whatever it is.
Okay.
If it has a material component, it's an action to use the material component.
Okay.
So you could easily port that into 5e.
I love the action economy, just to be honest. When it comes to fighting and wargaming stuff, I love the action economy in this.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's pretty basic.
I like different spell effects and the scaling of effects. I think that's a great idea.
In theory, I like the whole different things that weapons do, but in practice, it's just
pretty
a
weak.
lot.
I don't know. But yeah, I like the idea, though, for sure, to make weapons a little different. And the thing is, another thing it does is cantrips are scaled to your level in Pathfinder.
That's also
so you cast it at higher levels, essentially, as you keep going. So your cantrips stay relevant.
Remains bread and butter.
Having useful things to do rather than only 2 spells is cool.
Yeah. Well, this 5e does the same thing.
Okay.
4e did the same thing as well. That's where they all got it from. It's 4e.
You really need to try some 5e sometime.
But could we have had as much fun in a much more simple way?
Yes.
I think so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But some people...
I think we would have fun if we played it again. I think we have more fun if we played something else again.
Yeah. But I read people and they're like, well, you could play 5e or OSR, although why anybody would want to play an OSR game baffles me. Like, to them, the fun of the game is in the tactical junk. Mm-hmm. And if it's not that, they just don't understand why you would want to play it. Whereas we are more enlightened, and we can understand both perspectives.
I love being able to go into a room, try to talk our way out of a situation, the talk goes bad, now we fight.
Yeah.
Okay, I like having a good combination.
But this module is really meant for you to practice fighting, because the point of Pathfinder is fighting. It's not not fighting.
Yeah.
You think it's about finding paths. It's not. It's about fighting.
The
Elemental.
path is fighting.
Yes. The path of the sword.
Yeah,
We didn't play Roll Tide or Nah.
it's true. We still haven't done
We could
that.
we could do a short Roll Tide or
I
Nah.
mean, it's 11.
We've already got
15.
2 episodes of it tonight.
It's true.
I think we're good.
We can save it till next
We'll do
time.
it next time.
This Roll
So
Tighter now has
many
been
episodes.
4 weeks. In the
It is longer than that. It's legendary.
We're just
It's plus
put-
3 plus level.
That's right. We're we're making.
At this point, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna play some Fortnite because
Roll Tide.
Oh, couldn't
Okay.
couldn't go one night without mentioning Fortnite.
Are there any closing thoughts
You're gonna
about
play it.
Pathfinder 2?
I'm gonna play Monster Hunter until Forsaken comes out for Destiny, and then I'm gonna play more Destiny.
Asa plays Fortnite. Jim plays Fortnite.
my
all the
closing
reason
thought
for
on
me not to
Fortnite on Pathfinder 2 is if I had the rule book memorized, I think I would really enjoy this game.
I could see that. It would be a lot.
You'd be into the
There'd be-
min-maxing and taking advantage of it.
Processing time would be close to nothing.
That's what
right?
kills me is the processing time.
It's really bad.
So
Although that can be minimized in various ways. Memorizing the rules or running it as if you're running a different game. Like if you're running it like 5e or OSR game, which you could do.
yeah.
But we were just not doing, and that's how I would run it if we were to say keep Pathfinder 2 rules for whatever reason. I would just use the combat and that's it.
And you could integrate certain things like, okay, forget weapon properties. We're going to learn all these other things. Once we have everything else down, okay, now we'll start integrating weapon properties.
Yeah.
And you could slowly integrate everything, and I think it'd be much smoother.
Yeah, because some of that is modular for sure.
But I kind of feel kind of the opposite there. I mean, we played the simplest characters and like the simplest kind of combat scenarios. I just feel like the complexity would just multiply.
You know what? You're right. I'm not even thinking about leveling up
Oh yeah.
because playing level
And then
one,
interactions, and then there's multiple foes we have
You
to
know
fight
what?
against.
this would be very fun. Starting at level 0 and making it to level 1 and getting all your level 1 stuff. That would be more fun because this provide like what you have in your Dungeon Academy.
Yeah, easing into it would definitely be good. So
Yeah.
you're just doing basic attacks.
Yeah.
And that's it until you're used to the rules surrounding it, and then you get your stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, but you can do 3 things. That sounds great.
Yep.
I don't know.
I like that.
Everybody likes that. I like that. If you're gonna play a game like a modern RPG,
I also like the way the stats, dude. Like the way you gained your stats by
with boosts.
everything made sense.
Yeah, rather than point buy.
Yep.
Or an array.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
But that was still stolen from OSR stuff, anyways, right?
I think it might have been. Yeah, it was. There's a game called I'm forgetting it now. Beyond the Wall. That's the first place I know of that did it.
You referenced that a few times, I think.
Yeah, it's supposed to be kind of like a more fairy tale-y take on OSR stuff. You're usually like kids playing in the village outside of your hometown, and there's like a creation process for creating characters plus the village that you're from, and you like draw the map of it, and each people, it's like collaborative, that part of it. And you have different, it's like a life path kind of system. Like this event happened to you, add +2 to your strength, that kind of thing. But that life path kind of stuff has been going on, and that's kind of what this is in disguise.
That's what they want it to be. They actually say that your character was affected by their background and this way or that way, and that's what shaped them and all that. But I feel like it suffers from the same kind of problems as 4th edition. Like if you, like my character gets a feat like almost every level, you know, as this rogue character. It's too much. I don't know.
How do you remember all those things?
Like I get skill feats, I get class feats, I get ancestry feats.
Oh, and another thing, so running
So many feet.
when you're talking about high level play and it being complex, at least for PCs, amount of complexity is tractable because you literally only have one thing to keep track of. If you have monsters, especially with spellcasters, it's crazy. A great thing that 4E did for DMs that neither 5E nor Pathfinder 2 does is they don't use spells. They just have powers that are spell-like, and they're written down in the monster write-up. So you don't have to go reference anything else. You just look at the stat block.
Yeah.
And you can run the entire thing from the stat block.
That's pretty legit, actually.
Yeah, it was a great idea, but no one's used it ever since then, which is weird because it's awesome. I guess they want to have consistency between the way that monsters work and other characters work, but I think sacrificing that is a great move.
Yeah, but if you're having like a lot more monsters that are just like PCs,
It
sounds
out
so
of control.
frustrating.
Out of control. And they reduced the number of reactions that you can take in Pathfinder 2 compared to 1 and 3.5 and 4, where not everybody gets an attack of opportunity, that kind of thing. So that speeds things up a bit, and it makes fighters seem more special because you can stop people. It makes you more sentinel-y to start with. We noticed a big difference there. I can move around the barbarian with no problem, but I don't want to move around the fighter. Which
I
which
didn't
is-
even know I didn't have an attack of opportunity.
No, you don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
I mean, I
only-
just never had a situation
Yeah.
where I thought about it.
I
but-
thought about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a mixed bag, but it's mixed heavily toward the bad. But there's stuff in it, especially with it being free right now. It's basically a full game. I mean, it's 100 pages or more of a rule book and a free adventure. So you can at least look at it, download it, grab some stuff you want to hack out of it into whatever game you're playing.
Dude, the PDF is like 400 something pages.
Yeah, it's huge.
It's really big. That's not playtest.
You can
I
buy
mean,
it.
It's not Playtest at all.
You can
Yeah,
buy a
so-
hard copy. It's a full game.
Yeah. So when D&D did playtest, I mean,
It's
they
a
had
playtest
like,
because you can't buy a
they had
physical
booklets.
copy.
No,
like
you
binding.
can buy a bound physical
It's
hard
actually
copy.
bound?
Yes.
Can anyone reference? So how long was the 5th edition
How was this a
playtest? Like, I mean, including spells, it might have been like 70 pages.
It was
The
much
D&D
shorter.
5 thing?
Yeah, D&D
yeah.
next.
Yeah.
I feel like that might have even been less. I mean, like if you took everything together, maybe, it was less than 100 pages.
Yeah, it was.
I mean,
Maybe 50. God.
Okay, we need to
It
we need
was
to answer
brief.
some
It
stuff
was
here.
beautiful.
Because it was very basic classes.
Let's see.
some listener questions.
And then let's see how long did it take?
What is that?
This is
Oh.
a survey.
We have the survey.
Hey,
So
what's
we
the
played
Paizo?
2
Okay,
hours.
so what's first?
Everybody be quiet. 2 hours tonight in gameplay. We played how many hours of gameplay before? Like 4?
6.
Before today?
Wait, is that including character creation?
Not including
4
character creation. Not including character creation.
6 gameplay.
6 gameplay, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, 10
Because
hours
we
between the
played-
2 nights minus the 3.5, 4 hours.
You think we
of
spent 10 hours on this?
What?
That's what I counted.
Yeah, we stayed and we played at my house till like 2 o'clock in the morning for
Both
2 nights in a
nights.
row.
I'll say 10
God,
hours.
what did y'all say?
No, 8 hours.
It was
8 hours.
No, it was 6 hours for gameplay.
glad I was
plus 2
not
hours
there.
tonight. 8
Yeah.
hours.
Okay. So, how long did it take to play this part? Okay, so 8 hours. It took me 4 hours to prepare. How many sessions did it take you to play through? 3.
Yes.
How many hero points in total did you give out? Just
Give out or spend?
0. I guess.
Zero.
Whatever was
you
standard.
started with whatever. To get hero points, you have to do something heroic.
I'm fighting a monster. That's pretty
That's,
heroic.
that's just normal stuff, you know.
Is it?
Yeah. How many
For
times?
real.
How many times was a player character reduced to 0 HP? Or how many times were you reduced to 0? None.
1 for me.
One tonight. Oh,
You
one,
made
two,
it
one for
0?
you as well.
Just one
Yeah.
tonight for him.
Wait, no.
No, I'm the only
No.
one that went
Never
down.
mind. No.
Okay, so Pally fighter in total has been down 3 times. How many times was a player character reduced to 0 during this part? 6. How many player characters were killed? 0. I'm sure that's what they want to see. Okay, players. How long did it take you to create or update your character? So that is,
To really finalize it, it's over an hour. I mean, for
I'm
sure.
gonna say 1.5,
Sure. Yep.
and then Tim was 1. Right?
Mm-hmm.
How many times did your character reach 0 resonant? Nobody used resonance points.
What
I
does
don't even
that
know
do?
what that is.
That's currency you have that's based on 3 plus Kamod, unless you have an exception, like alchemists do. It's like a pool that you use in place of attunement. You have to spend points to activate magic items or to effectively attune to them.
Just stop.
I have magic items, yeah.
How many times did your character critically fail the check while overspending resonance points? Nobody spent them at all. How many times did your character run out of spell slots during play? So nobody else ran out of spell slots. Okay, so just 1. How many times did your character run out of spell points? No one used spell points except the paladin last time. How many hero points did you use? Okay,
1.
1 fighter.
1 over 8 hours.
Okay, that's it.
Hey, what's the formula for
Resonance.
like when you attack? Like, what's the?
What are you asking? For when you do what?
There's a formula in there. This plus this plus this plus this plus this.
That's for skill checks. Are you thinking
for
about that
skill
big huge
checks.
thing?
Yeah. What? I'm trying to remember.
It's at the very start.
At the very start. Okay.
Yeah.
'Cause I just wanted
Like under the how to play stuff.
to read that thing.
Yeah.
It's
So this was
ridiculous.
wild. So yeah, 6 times I think over the course of one dungeon, somebody went down to 0, and obviously got back up because nobody died.
Well, we were
But we're also first level characters
we're trying to figure it out.
But with 20 something HP each,
and a lot of encounters.
there was not a lot of encounters. There
Oh,
was
okay.
6 encounters maybe. There
It's
was
just, this time we had 3 encounters
1 ooze,
plus the
One-
trap.
Centipedes,
centipedes, nothing.
nothing.
Fungus, more like a trap.
Yeah, and I took it out in 1.
4
flame.
goblins, 4 quasits, 6 skeletons, 5 goblins, 1 guy. So like there's 8 encounters, something like that.
Just going around busting heads.
So it's worse than Pathfinder 1 in terms of complexity, even though they're trying to simplify it. But it has some stealable stuff in it. That's my takeaway anyway.
Yeah, but why hero points? I mean, you reward them for being heroic. Like, how imprecise is that?
It's very
and
imprecise.
And there's like an odd level of precision to everything else.
Yeah.
Like, that's...
They're just
not
trying to steal
consistent.
inspiration, but try to make it a little bit more concrete, which it is. The benefit you get from it is not great. Like, I thought that it would immediately make you not have to make
you have
fort
to,
saves to get up, but I was totally wrong about that.
To do something interesting, you have to get 2 or 3 hero points.
Yeah, 2 lets you re-roll a d20, and then 3
Okay.
lets you do something else. I forget.
So,
But you can only have up to 3, and you can only get awarded once per session, even though they're not OP, and they get reset at the start of the next session. So they're really concerned about you only being able to have 3 ever. It's just like 5e. They're so concerned about inspiration, but it's not that great.
let's say we played this again, reinvigorated with all the knowledge we have. How long do you think it'd take?
To do the same thing again,
Yeah, with our knowledge of the rules. And
3
our
hours.
characters. 3 hours.
Maybe less, 2 to 3 hours.
I feel like the combat wouldn't be speeded up or sped up that much. I don't know. I mean, it
And
seems like we
actually,
still have to do a lot of slogging.
Even though it's trying to simplify it, having to wrap my head around how initiative works with exploration skills is like brain melting to me for some reason. It seems like it makes it more complicated and murky than less complicated. Because it seems like you should, but maybe it's just because of your fighting habits you've learned from other games.
I think that might be it. And I think that once you kind of play with it for a little bit, you get used to it.
Because if you're using stealth, you roll a 20, and once you come in encounter range, an encounter just happens. There's no detection checks, and I keep on forgetting that. And so, unless they're doing something, so if they're just goofing around, they're going to use perception. So they're effectively trying to perceive you, but they're probably going to roll lower than you in a stealth check, and then you just continue in initiative order. That's how you do it. So if they are fighting or running or working out, they'll use athletics or whatever. But otherwise, it's perception, and that's how it works.
It's a good combat simulator. Does a lot of things better than 4th edition, which was fun. It was fine if you're just gonna like do a combat on a you got a battle map, you've got a set piece, and that's all you're gonna do. It's fine. I thought it was fun.
I kind of like the way they do XP. It's all relative to your level, to the party level. And then you level up at 1,000 XP and then it resets to 0. So monsters just have a level, like a CR kind of thing. And you compare the CR to your CR, and you have like a default bonus. And then if it's greater or lesser, you add or subtract like 20 or whatever. And everybody just gets the value. So 80 XP to everybody. If it's like a standard encounter, like evenly matched. And
Does
then when
treasure give anything?
No, of course not. And then when you get to 1,000, you level. So it's about 12 encounters or so of even.
And again, that just underlines that this is a system intended for combat. It's miniature combat.
Why isn't this just a video game? There's so many rules, so many
It's a good
plus
question.
ones and
Why
minus
not?
ones.
Why not?
Because it'd be instant, all the combat. You just choose.
Yeah, just click a button and it swings. Or cast a spell.
It could calculate all this stuff, all your fighter stuff, implement all of it. You could know all of it, but you can actually do it quickly because the game knows all the rules.
Yeah, that'd be way more fun. And if that happened, we would do this whole segment in like
15
less than 5 minutes. Yeah, 15 minutes, baby. Because you just click, 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 click. Think about how many rounds you had, how many actual attacks you had in any of these encounters. And that's how many clicks you made. And everyone else made a click too. 10 minutes.
Skill checks. It's page 141 of the PDF, by the way. Skill modifier equals ability modifier plus proficiency modifier plus circumstance bonus plus conditional bonus plus item bonus plus circumstance penalty plus conditional penalty plus item penalty plus untyped penalties.